looks like I have everything up and running. My main one, let's see if it is. It looks like I have. Yes, I have got audio. Hey Chris, how's things going? No, so right now most of the country's going through between high 30s to 40-degree heat. So only the couple of the glaciers, the main mountain range around Mount Cook's got snow. That's all that's left here. So after tomorrow or the next day, we're getting an anticyclone, so we might have a bit more, depending on how cold the winds get from the South Pole. I highly doubt we'll get much out of it. Oh, let's make sure everything is correct. Yes, it is. Right. Hey, Aussie Tank, long time no see. Not going to be a real long talk tonight. I've been busy working, drilling holes in a restoration project. And 54 was the high temperature I got today, and that's in Celsius. That's working up in that roof space kind of cooked me, so I'm not really in the mood to do too much. So I'll do a probably half-hour, 45-minute live stream. That's about me today. But chat's already off and away. Better pop once I remember how to do it. Find the link and drop it in. Once I remember how to do it. Somewhere. Here it is. Right, I'll pop the link into chat. Right, what's happening? Well, for me, I've got, from the last video, as you would have seen, I've got the stand done for one of the reef tanks. I got given a Red Sea Reef 130 without a stand, so I've got to finish making the stand for that. So I'll be gathering all the materials from work for free. Bit of an overkill, 3x3 timber, so I was going to just do 4x2, but 3x3s will do it. Stand will probably be able to take more than 5 or so times the volume, but that's alright. At least it will last a while once you shift on me. So the Red Sea Reef is pretty much ready to start. I've only got to buy a fractometer so I can keep an eye on the salinity levels, and that's it. I'm set to start. Bought all the dry rocks, so I have to start curing that and getting it ready. Work out the lighting system from my phone and start setting it all up. We've got the bags of sand and everything required. That part's nearly ready. Now we've got DPK in the house. How's things going? But yeah, the reef side of things, I'm looking forward to starting that. Be a lot more effort taken in not only doing the reef setup, but also in making sure it's videoed properly and uploaded regularly for everyone to see what I'm doing and how it's done. And, well, not necessarily how it's done in the context of the way to do things, it's how it's done with how I'm doing it. And a bit of trial and error as well as just from what I've learnt through watching other people, reading, and discussions on multiple forums. Aquarium Cop's in the house. Yeah, so if anyone wants to pop on for a short time, feel free to. Just remember it's only going to be a short live stream tonight. So, fish room wise, so far the Discograma Striper Cicada seem to be obeying. The female hasn't written male bits yet. Male's left her alone quite a bit. She seems to be swapping from logs to cave, digging burrows everywhere. But she did one lot of colouring up into canary yellow. It hasn't for a while now, so I think I might be having to pull him out and give her a break. Not that he's been stressing, I haven't seen any outward fighting, more just give her a tank back to herself a bit and then try it again. That's what I'm thinking. And the Cockatoides peaceful as could be. No issues between male and female. They're enjoying the 22 going long the way it's set up. I must say, I'm going to get in there at some point. Trim some of the hypophilia. It's a bit of a mess. One of my Norman Lamp Achilles decided it was time to jump, but unfortunately it was a male. So yeah, while I was cleaning the tank, the fish jumped out, never even noticed he was gone. And the only male I've got. So I've got to, at some point, order some more. The betters, from one of the last live streams I was talking about with White, that will happen, and it still is going to happen. Right now, the tanks I was going to use for it are housing the batters and kind of enjoying watching them in their wee little biotopes. So, yeah, I'll just leave it to it. Yes, the Mac attack. That is correct. Very I haven't heard that in a wee while. It's actually really good to be back on here with everyone. I've been missing it. I'm saying that when you're busy, you sort of get sidetracked with everything you're doing, and then by the time you get the time off, you're tired and not want to do anything. Other than that, fish room wise, I'm cogitating how I'm going to keep cutting my chairs out so I can have another set of tanks, and I've also got a plan for winter. So some of the breeding setups I've got outside. I've also got to have room for them. Not that it needs to be anything flash, just a couple of tubs and some polystyrene will do me with a few airlines drop down, so that's no biggie for me. I've struggling to find any Tegan cichlids. They're just not finding any. Well, I'll tell you what, I can find a couple, Brichardi, but I've already got to get rid of a batch of those, and I'm more interested in some Julia Dicronis and Trocephus to round off the 100-gallon tank nicely. Also, a Calvus would be nice to keep the Prichard fry down. Batch of that into the tank for a more of a shoaling group. My discus is still spawning as usual. Done a bit of alterations with the alterations with the 83 gallon, which is going good. I had a bit of trouble with cyanobacteria. I changed one of the lights out. I swapped it to a different type to see how it would go, and it got a bloom from it. Swapped back to the original lights, and within a couple of days it's been melting away to invisibility again. So we'll leave that be now. What else is happening in chat now that I'm staring at the tank and focusing on an idea I've got? Lots of things happening. Got Bob in the house now. Welcome along, Bob. Come along. Yeah, so if anyone wants to hop on, do feel free to. Not worry, you won't hops on, just remember it's only a short video. Guppy wise, it's something I love and something I hate. I love the fact that I've always got ready food for some fish with them, but also the other side I enjoy doing the selective breeding. So currently I've got one batch. I've got to figure out the exact name for what their tail type is. Nice red ones to work on. Also got some more fluoro purple going into yellow ones that are breeding outside, which are being quite successful now. So let's see what their spawns look like. We've got some tetras to spawn. We conditioned the green flame tetras to see how they go. We 11 gallons set aside for Java moss. I'll throw them in there for a couple of days. We drop some eggs, pull them back out and see what happens. Got another tank freeing up soon, so I've got one with some barbs in it, quarantining, so I can go into my 50-gallon cube in the house, the ocean themed ecosystem. So they're nearly done QT. So finish that. They'll go and there'll be a free tank, so I'll have to figure out the process with that tank. The Cory herd is developed. I've got another 5 bronze Cories. They're not in the 83 gallon in their own tank at the moment. Rescued another decent sized female. A few males and possibly another female in there, so slowly lower the temperature down to more 24 degrees. At the moment is heater off, which is what the fish room's sitting at. So it's not, well, I shouldn't say the fish room. Water temperature stabilised at. Enjoyable. What else have we got in the shafts? Yeah, we're talking about banners. And we're speaking something I do not understand at all. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't understand anything of that. So something's happening in chat. It's definitely not in English. So, what else can I think of that's fresh and new that I've been rummaging around? Ideally, I was talking on Facebook group locally the other day, fellow breeder up north of me. We're really struggling here to try and find the more exotic species, things that we're allowed to import. But the importers who have the accreditation through our government with MPI won't bring them in because, I don't know, it's like as if they're lazy or they're too hard basket, and they just stick with what they know and that's the end of it. It's kind of annoying because I wouldn't mind some of the better Bellums or even just trying to get some Listogrammus Onslow would be great. Not interested, even when you're sort of bribing them with up to $1,000, I'd say. I think it's about $850 US each. They're still not interested. It's like, seriously? What are we meant to do in the fish keeping world when the supply is just the most basics? And as the usual progression in the hobby goes, you start sort of moving from simple to a bit more delicate, a bit more harder to keep, and then eventually start moving up to the expert levels, and then you find your niche, and once you found it, you sort of, that's that. So it kind of sucks. That's part of the reason why I've got a few extra tanks with how to say, holding abilities. So they're always cycled, always got something in it. But at the moment, these species turn up here, or I get word that here, I can spend the money and nap and work on it. But I tell you, it's so frustrating here. I just wish we could get all the groups together and form signatures, even if it be like 500, maybe a couple of thousand signatures, so we could send it to the importer and say, look, come on, mate, hold thumb and import what people want. Yeah. I tell you that reading through the policies for our importation. It's certainly a headache. It's just about more quarantining required than I think doctors have to do going through for an operation, an open brain surgery. Hold on, what's this in the chat? The link isn't working. I'll post it again. I remember seeing that, I think, on one of Tim's videos saying the link doesn't always work. Now that's been pasted. See if that one works there, Aquarium Cop. Should. If not, then my very limited user skills certainly lacking, that's for sure. Yes, so for those who might not know, in New Zealand, we I'm not going to quote it all for fact. I'd have to read it a few times before I start saying it. More or less, if you're wanting to sort of import here, you need a facility that is able to be 100% sanitized, stainless steel bench-top splashbacks. More or less, no tank water can be allowed anywhere that can't be sanitized. If it goes down the drain, it could be a biohazard to the environment. Everything has to be contained. So any water from water changes must be killed. All the water change water must be destroyed so that there's nothing in it, no chance of microbacteria surviving. The fish food that's being used is apparently, like let's just say you had a 500 gram jar. By the time you did, I think it's 8 weeks in the quarantine. You have to chuck it all out. So if you only used a quarter of it, all gone because it could be contaminated. Gloves, on and on goes the list. Yeah, sort of. It definitely builds up costs, that is for sure. It doesn't really help because the group that I talk to, we're not really too worried about the money. We just want the species so that we can proliferate them here and also get them for ourselves. And you'd think that sort of incentive would be enough to help someone maybe get off their rear end and actually chase that money. But it doesn't seem to work. I tell you, there's a lot of times I want to start shipping to other countries in the world that allow you to stop fish. Ones you want, that is. But hey, there's some good sites in NZ which I love that I really enjoy here. One of them is 130 gallon tanks are dirt cheap to buy. Real cheap. Nothing working yet with the Hangout link there at Burn Top. I quite honestly can't see why it won't work. It doesn't work. I might have to do it through email, and if that's the case, I'll have to set it up on the Facebook with the Fish Fam group. Not too hard to find on there. Right, so what else is going on? The fish room is completely insulated now, so that's a bonus, and that's the other reason why I'm not really wanting to be on too long today is after all the heat I've been in, hopping in here is like hopping into the heat I was in, hot and humid. It's nowhere near as hot, it's still humid. I'm just about stuck to the chair, being a leather lazy boy. The marine side, it's going to be interesting. I haven't delved into it before. Ordered everything I need from wave makers to the Wi-Fi controlled LED units. Everything I've researched about the unit I've got, Zetolite, I've forgotten which model number, seems to be okay. I've got pretty good reputation. The skimming setup, like in the Red Sea tank, it's just the basic rear sump. So poly filter. I need to some running various other things. So I'm not necessarily going to be hoping to be more simplistic. like you see on some of the other YouTube videos where it's just the most basic stuff. Even some of mostly focusing just really on the skimmer, a bit of polyfilter if possible, just to see if it can work. If not, it's alright. I'm not really going to be stocking heavy numbers of fish. I'm mostly interested in the corals. 130 gallon, that'll be a completely different process. So we're going to bolt in the lower level in it. That'll be 2 stringers going across, and then put in a couple of supports at so many centers. I don't know, say 300-400 centers, and set up the sump system and various other things it needs. Then I've still got to build the tank. I'm actually sitting right next to all the glass for the 130 gal. That's built. Then I've got to start cycling the rock, ordering all the stuff for it, because I've only got the stuff for the smaller reef tank. And figure out from that plan of how and what to stock. That's going to be an interesting part. The joyful thing here is I've got quite a few green LFSs, and also some of those shops have the import facilities approved. Hoping if I do enough orders through them with bits and pieces over time, I might be able to convince one of them to possibly do imports of a couple of freshwater fish as a sort of like a mates thing. See if that works. Should be really cool if it did. Print Cop says no, so you're bold putting that up. Feel free to delete it if you want. I've seen it. See if it works. Hang on, so if I split that, should work. Alright. And that's really good. That's not good. What is going on? I add that email address into the Hangouts and it just keeps removing it. Oh yeah, this is going weird. Really weird. Okay, I'm going to try it a different way. This way. Yeah, so hopefully there could be an ability to get some better species in. Particularly when it comes to some of the killifish would be nice. Don't really... We've got some, but not many. Actually, I might be able to do it through the Hangouts this way. If I can find the chat. Because normally it shows... no, I don't do that. It shows the previous chat. Well, it does on my phone. Maybe that might work. No. I still have no reason why it's not accepting your email. There, Green Cop. It just doesn't make sense at all. Yeah, I'm really confused by that. Because normally you just click on it and drop the link, everyone can log on, and then if they can't log on, put the email address in, and away you go. Right, one more time. See if this works. No idea what would work. What is going on here? Yes, there is one Asian Chinese alligator in the 100 gal. One day I'll get him out of there. One day. I would love to be able to find some proper Gara, but I haven't seen them here since one of the other places shut down. He seemed to always battle in Portland. None of the others seem to ever report him for some reason. Particularly want Gara, but that's alright. The alligator seems, the Chinese one seems to stick out to the Neolamprologus quite well. The hat doesn't bother him, but the Neos don't like him anywhere near their rock setups. Feel sorry for that poor hat. I want to get more for him, but wow, her or him, whichever one it is. But saying that, I'm already breaking the rules of the tank and using tank bring a Malawi in it, even though I like both. Did the link work there, Aquarium Crop? Yeah, so back to what I was going to do. So with the 130 gal, I'm just going to be doing a bunch of containers, plastic containers for the sun, customizable. I was thinking of doing glass, and then the time it takes, a couple of plastic containers should do the job perfectly well. I'm sure there'd be someone who'd probably say no. I'd be interested to see what the reason would be, so I could research them and find out for sure. Possibly plastic contaminations, but then also get plastics that are BP free or something like that. So that should work. Salt wise, that's going to be a bit different. I'm going to be setting up a system. Just for me, I've got some very clean ocean nearby. I'm just going to go down to the ocean and grab the water. I'll run it through a filter, remove any solid particles out of it. Well, so I should say multiple filters, and then I'm going to run it through a UV sterilizer. Let that sit through the UV sterilizer, clear stones, or a power head. Whenever I need it for water changes, I need to get an RODI unit for set up. At this stage, I've got a small unit that can do the water I need in the house, but not enough for a bigger tank. It'll keep up with the evaporation rate, that's for sure. Small tank. So I've got to find out what all that is. So I've got the whole Red Sea test kit. I've got to get the, I know they do have some of them, but I'm probably going to do a few other brands for just finding out all the other magnesiums and mineral deposits. There's one here that is very popular. I'm going to look up the names now. I'm not going to remember what it's called. They had a very popular one here. Here we go. Sally Furt Pro-Cat. That's the one I'm going to get. Calcium copper. Got that. I didn't know they had an oxygen one. Got phosphate, strontium, silicon, iodine, boron. I don't know what the other one is. Just bits and pieces I need. Also, going to see what the API test kit is like. I know the Red Sea is not far more advanced, so I'll be utilising that for my research systems. But I just want to see what the API is like for a budget kit. in comparison for people who might be wanting to do reef tanks on a budget. And that's something I want to try as well. Is setting up a smaller tank, more probably 20 gallon, and doing a hob reef system, just a normal hob filter. I've been constantly reading online and seeing so many discussions, forums, also the Facebook groups. Don't notice it so much on the forums. It seems to like probably more the moderation and the type of people on it. I notice the Facebook groups can end up becoming more of a bashing place, or I know more, or this is how it's done and that's the end of it, or trolling, which is people not really interested in the hobby but more interested in feeding their own chest about their information and importance. So things I've correlated between Facebook, YouTube, forums, old books. I can't seem to find much saying no to a reef system working with, say, a small skimmer and a hob filter with some polyfilter. Keep up with your water testing, keep up with your water changes if required, don't overstock, don't overfeed, and keep everything in balance. It just seems to be what we need to do. What are these two rams up to? Got some rams having a good go at each other over some food, so that's interesting to watch. Good on them. Not. I hoped I had a pair of rams. It's not often you see females here, but both proven to be male, which sucks. Yeah, I'm going to see how the reef systems work. It's probably something I might jump into because I'm sure some of you already know. We've lost the ability to get a lot of corals harvested like we were through the Pacific Islands, and also Hawaii's got some bans coming in, which I've noticed. So this year there's a complete ban, I think it's in Fiji, on the coral harvesting. So none are exporting, none of them are harvested. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next year, whether they lift it and allow for things to be harvested so that they can turn it into, say, aquaculture and grow them that way, or whether they'll allow them back onto the reef, who knows. So if it gets a bit more strict, I might end up having to get some more reef tanks and start growing coral. Some of the stuff becomes hard to find. Particularly the Great Barrier Reef, not looking too flash. No, Chris. The 100 gallon is in the fish room and in a shed. Inside the house has only got the 50 gallon. We'll soon have a reef tank. I'll put all the tanks in the shed. Not all the tanks, like the 100 gallons, got a heater in it. Most of them are starting to have no heater. The shed itself stays warm enough to heat the whole place up for me. So that's the main thing. During the winter, the house is not quite as warm as the shed. In New Zealand, power bills are not cheap, so anything to keep the power prices down is a must. I must say that hat does look peaceful wandering around. I have a feeling it's going to be a female. It's a shame because they don't have the colour that the males do. Red Figgy Dangos have decent colour, that's for sure, once they grow up. But anyhow, I guess I've bored you all enough. This is just another warm-up live stream to my usual patterns. I'm starting to break out a sweat. It's that hot in here. I'm getting a bit tired of that and work today. Looking on that heat, I'm getting a bit. New Zealand's normally not this warm, so Aussie can have its heat wave back. I don't want it. And leave me in peace in winter. It's nice and cool. So I'm going to pull the live stream, guys. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll start coming back at like Aquarium Cop called it, the old Mac Tack. I'll be back at it. Thanks for stopping by. It's great to see you all again. Thanks for showing out.